What's up, guys? Today I'm going to do some unboxing of my FCP engineering rods. Let you get a closer look at those guys. And the JE pistons. Also going to throw them on the scale, see what they weigh, so we can try to get everything as close as possible for the rotating assembly. All right, so let's jump right into it. We're going to start with the rods. Let's see what we got. All right, these are the FCP engineering rods. They come with the ARP assembly lube. And this is what we got. They come in these nice boxes. Individually wrapped. And so far, what I could tell, they're very nice. They don't come down to a taper at all from the head. And then we go down into the big end of it. And I like them. They come with the ARP 2000 bolts. And they're in good shape. I had them sitting around for a little bit. And I can't really tell what that is. It might just be scuffed up from me having them lay around. I had this one out already. But yeah, they're not dropped or anything. Just maybe a little bit of surface rust from the forged steel. But let's take a look and we'll see what they weigh. Turn that bad boy on. Zeroed out. It's in pounds at the moment. Let's change this over to grams. We got 556 grams. Let's see what other 19.6 ounces. 19.6 ounces. Go back to the grams. 556. All right, and we'll see what the next one weighs. There we got the next one. It's 19.59. The first one was 19.6. So very close in weight. Very close. As you can see, this one doesn't have anything. I had the other one open already. So some oil for my fingers when I got on it. Just left a little bit of marks. But okay, keep moving on. All right, got them all weighed out. 19.57, 19.58, 19.59, 19.59, and these two are 19.6. So they're extremely, extremely close. We're going to go ahead and open up the JE pistons, see what they weigh, and then we're going to try to arrange them in a way that everything is very balanced. I don't think, being off that much is really going to cause a difference. If it bothered me that much, I could always take a sander to them and try to get them all down to 19.57, and that would be perfectly balanced. However, I don't 100% trust this scale either, so I'd rather not. And then after that's said and done, maybe I'll go ahead and see what a weight of an entire setup is on the stock pistons. But that's what we got here, guys. I'm very happy with this design. They look like they'll be more. They're rated for 1,000 horsepower and 9,000 RPM. Not going to be going that far with the motor, so they should stand up. 4340 forged steel. Thinking they're going to do all right. They're going to do all right. Now, what you all been waiting for, stickers. The pistons. go. Don't really know what to say about them. They got the side skirts on them, which I like. I mean, very beautifully machined and polished. The oil drains cut into the third ring for the oil. Very, very nice setup. They also come with the ring set, which my box is upside down. They come with all their rings. What else do we got here? All of the specs on them. The groove width, land width, and oil, radial depths, pin diameters, and the target weight it doesn't have on there, but we're about to find that out. As far as the rings go, I'm not going to open them up just now. They do have markings on them. Gotta figure out which is which between first rings and second rings. So definitely got the oil rings in there. It's a very nice thing. What else do we got? It's got the clearances that we're gonna run. And I'm probably gonna run a gap in the 45 range. But we'll see, because as far as my bore goes, it gives you all the specs, piston to diameter, clearance, and whatnot. I'll go over that. I'll read it to myself. What else do we have hidden in here? Ring installation guidelines. We've got the wrist pin holders, the retaining clips, as well as the wrist pins are down there. Very nice. Well, that'll end up being an assembly room. Now, in comparison to a stock one, they look like they number one have a taper on the edges, inner and outer. They might have a slightly larger diameter. We'll see. What else do we got in this box of goodies? It's pretty much it as far as the weights go. Let's see what she got. Some ounces at the moment. Drop that bad boy on there. 10.89. All right, we're gonna go ahead and go through them all. All right, we got them all weighed out. We'll start here. All the wrist pins are identical at 3.47. Piston 1 is 10.89. Piston 2 is the lightest at 10.86. Then we got 3 and 4 at 10.88. And 5 and 6 is 10.89, like number 1 is. So, the the lightest piston at 10.86. Is going to go with one of the heavier rods at 16.9. And then obviously the rest of them really don't make a difference, and I'm assuming most of the rings, I'm going to weigh it as an assembly when all said and done. I may do a little bit work to get, these are all so close, they're not going to really make a difference. 8.8 and 8.9, and then it's just the one that's 8.6. I really don't want to have to do any work to the other 5 pistons to get them down to 8.6. Maybe a little shaving on the rods to get them all down to their lowest number, but I think it should work out fine. I didn't weigh the rings. I'm assuming they will weigh the same. I don't feel like opening them up at this moment. But yeah, that's what we're looking at here, guys. This is the JE piston setup. It's very well packaged, very well protected. Everything's top of the line. I'm loving the quality of it all. It looks great. I'm very excited to be using it. The rods are on the cheaper side, but not the cheapest you could get. And yeah, we're gonna come back to them right now. I'm gonna keep them all nice packaged up. Not quite ready for installation of them yet. Still got to go over a couple things with the block. Block's still sitting there. I actually got the tool to pull out the big 360 100 foot-pound nut. Also ordered a pinned crank hub for that. That should be coming. I got my AIC, my port injection controller came in, the new Reflex Plus. So we're going to be installing that with the new setup as well. So, yeah, I mean, as you can see, I got a bunch of other parts laid out. So, I've taken a break with it for a little bit. I got the other engine. I got the engine out of the car, as you guys seen. I got a bunch of other motor parts here. Now, these are the cams that were in my motor before it popped. And I'm going to be using the cams that came out of my motor that I'm building for 2 reasons. One, these are the old school style. They got the metal clip rings as opposed to the Teflon rings. And 2, you could see some pitting on that lobes there. A couple of these lobes really pitted and worn. I don't know what causes that, but yeah, all of them have it except for one. It looks like all of them are in pretty rough shape. No, these 2 are alright, but yeah, they were in pretty rough shape there. I don't know what causes it. I don't know how they get like that. The ledges are in good shape. If anybody wants a set of ledges, I mean, I didn't have an issue with the car running at all. So I would have never known if I didn't have to pull the engine apart. They would have just lived like that. So yeah. However, that's one reason. 2 is they're the solid kind of cam, as opposed to the cams that are hollow down the middle, which I'm going to be using because 1, it's less rotational mass, and 2, they're in good shape. Plus, they also got the Teflon ring on them, so cam trays don't get worn. But yeah, we're going to give them a good cleaning and then pop those guys in. As you can see, mine are very, very fucking clean as opposed to these. But they'll work just fine. Alright guys, well, that's the unboxing of the JE pistons and the FCP rods for today. That's all we're going to do. And I'm probably going to jump on the block and pull that bolt out now, but there's no reason to film that and get the bed off and get that crank out. All right, boys, guys, N54 fanatics. Check back with me, and I'll show you the progress we make. Thanks. All right, here we are. So, pulled the plug out, pulled the one bolt. It's the Torx that's holding the timing in on the bottom. Got the hub out with the special tool. It was beautiful. Worked like a charm. I thought it was going to be a lot more and fight me, but it didn't. It actually broke loose, no problem. Got the other plug out there. I still got to take out the Torx bit that's hidden in there. Don't know if you could see it. Yeah, right up there. That guy in there. And then oil pump sprocket will come off along with the vacuum pump. And you can see I got the gear hanging here that came off the sprocket. The hub, I mean. So that stuff could come out. If I take this out now, we'll be able to pull the timing assembly right up through the top. It's a little hard with one hand. Sorry. There we go. And when reinstalling it, that's how we're going to reinstall it. However, my new pin hub won't have the sprockets separate. And we're going to get all new timing guides as well. Even though these seem to be not badly worn at all, I'm not taking no chances. I'm not taking no chances with this boat motor. So for now, I'm just going to lay her down there. I try to keep as much together as possible so you can see how it's going. This is the hub where the bolt ran through. I know most of you guys know it has the friction material here. And it's really just holding together with that bolt. They tend to slip. You're going to see the new one I get is going to have the sprockets already built into it. And then it's going to have 2 pins up at the top, which I'm going to end up drilling the crank for. But I'm going to end up probably cleaning down this block very well, honing it out, taking the oil sprayers out. I mean, I'm happy with the way this block looks. She's in good shape. I'm going to send a hone down it. Clean off all the dirt, grime. I mean, now that I wasn't going to do any painting and making it look pretty, but we're this far into it, I'm going to say fuck it and do it. So I'm going to start breaking it down, get the brackets off here, get the pulleys off here. That one's broken. I should have extra pulleys laying around because from the other engine, might just go with a whole new pulley set as well. Next step here is pulling this off, which is fairly simple. I mean, I'm just going to take a flathead, pop it in the corner or somewhere, and just pop it out. It'll come out no problem. Yeah. Maybe use a little hammer, tap it in, and then I should be able to pop that out. And then I'll show you what the bolt looks like underneath. All right. I hammered the screwdriver in there a little bit, tapped it in, and then you just go like this and work it out. Again, it sucks. I don't have a good filming. Try to do the best I can. You hear it creaking? There you go. There you go. Boop. And then you're gonna, boom, zap that bolt off the vacuum pump. And then there's 3 more in the back that'll pull that off of the block itself. Once this bolt is off, all 3 oil pump, it'll come right off the crank. And that all comes out as one piece. We're gonna go ahead and do that Torx bolt. All right, once you get that one E10 out, the whole assembly comes out of the block from the bottom. So when you're putting it back, just go straight up and then right back in. Now, obviously, the only difference is going to be that sprocket is not going to be living on it. So getting that on might be a little bit of a fight. because it has this type of chain tensioner here, so I may have to hold this loose, try to slip the chain over. When I get there, we'll figure it out together, I guess. Also, my E10 was too big, and I don't have a deep one. I used some needle nose to put it up, and then put the socket through the hole. So, if you don't have anything, you can always just slip the socket up the bottom, and then throw it in through this way. Now, like I said, you got the 3 bolts there for the water pump. I mean, the vacuum pump, rather. My fault. Then the vacuum pump could come off the block. If I'm going to do it at this moment, I'm not sure. But I think I'm going to get this bracket off and flip over the block and start looking at the bottom of it. All right, I cracked all the main bolts loose, and then we're going to go for the outside bed bolts. I must admit, it's pretty fucking stinky in there under these oil. Whatever happened in there, it stinks. Yeah, that's stinky. I don't know if it's from the damage, which you could see clearly now on number 6, or what happened, lack of oil changes, leaking injectors, but something caused it to be stinky. And I'm not ecstatic about it, but it is what it is, and I'm going to end up with a new crank anyway. So let's get these outside bolts off. I get the bed plate out, and then after that's done, we're going to move on to getting this crank out of the car, or motor rather. I just want to note, in addition to all of the Torx bolts around the bed, the front 2 and the rear 2 are actually smaller, and when putting them back, they're a different torque spec as well. All right, guys, just wanted to end off the video. So I got the bed plate off, got the crank out, sprayed some lube down the cylinders and wiped it around just for storage purposes. And that's all we're gonna do today. Gonna probably send the block out just to have it decked. Probably home while it's there, depending on how much they charge. If not, I'll do it myself. But yeah, it's basically stripped down to nothing at this point. The only thing really left is the oil squirters at the bottom, and a pulley and some knock sensors and crank sensor. So 3 things. Other than that, there she is. That's the N54 torn down. Gonna still source a crank. I don't think either one of the ones that I have is savable. So thanks for hanging in there with me, and we'll touch base later on. I'm gonna try to see a reputable engine shop around. And yeah, that's it. And we'll get back to it. Thanks.